Hey guys. Oh, there's Mike. So I just tried to go live in my team page and it cut me off after 8 minutes. So I don't know if it's my connection or what's going on, if my internet's being wonky. It was cutting me off this morning too when I was on a team call with corporate, so it was great. But talking about one of my favorite topics today, recruiting coaches. I am known as a recruiting coach machine. Even though I've not been one as much the last 6 months, that's always been my jam, and it's always been my passion. And I'm one to lead with the business and always see people as a coach prospect and not just a customer prospect, if that makes sense. So always seeing how this financial opportunity can benefit people. Even if they don't necessarily come to you wanting the coaching opportunity, I'm always wanting to breadcrumb and sprinkle in like why they would love it or why they would rock at it and how it's changed my life. So I think there's some important things to know and keep in mind when you are recruiting coaches. For me, I always shoot for recruiting about 5 to 10 coaches, business builders every single month, and to be sending out an application for the coaching opportunity at least like 10 times per week. So that's always my goal every week, for 10 applications to have gone out to people who are interested in the coaching financial income opportunity. It's a numbers game. This is a go for no business always. You can't count your chickens before they hatch. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. So this business is a business where, like Christina Solons always says, 20% of your people are going to make up 80% of your income. And this business is all about getting a lot of people, hey Lindsay, getting a lot of people to do a little. And so that is, oh, thanks, Carol. Yeah. I don't know if I should turn my computer around, but it's kind of bulky. I love my office. Oh, it gives me butterflies. By the way, Lovable Lumber, can you guys see this? I always point to this. There. I got that Lovable Lumber off of Instagram. You can just make your own sign. It's so cool. So, you want to focus on building a solid, large team of coaches. And these are going to be discount coaches, hobby coaches, business builders, because you need all of those to make up your volume. But a lot of your business builders are going to make up a huge chunk of your volume. Hobby coaches are going to make up a great chunk of your volume. Discount coaches, people who are really, they bleed Beachbody Blue, they will capitalize on every launch and get all the products. They might not necessarily be building a huge business, but they contribute a lot to your volume. But I'm more so talking about like the business builders, how to recruit, what I do to recruit business builders. And I have a whole process beyond the point of them getting signed up and how I mentor them, but that's a whole other call. So this is more so just like recruiting them, like what I do to prospect and then get them in the door. Okay. So just think of it as like an 80-20 or 90-10 rule. So whenever I invite to coaching, which when I was in hardcore building mode, I was inviting like at least 10 people every single day to the coaching opportunity. 25 like was my goal every single day. And I just knew that only 10% of people out of any number that I ever put out there for invites would ever say yes or maybe to me. So it's just a numbers game, and I always assume that people are going to quit. I lead with the mantra of you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's a great saying to keep in mind with anything in this business. So, but especially it's true when you're exposing people to this opportunity. This is huge. Write down this quote. Who you attract is not determined by what you want. It's determined by who you are. So you yourself have to be developing into a leader, into someone worthy of building a team. It's not that you can't build a huge team until that happens, but it's going to be a slower process, a little bit more of a struggle, unless you are taking initiative with looking at leadership books, reading leadership books, tuning into personal development podcasts with leadership, reading network marketing type books, learning about the art of conversations, how to ask questions to people, how to talk to people. You want to be doing those things because that's going to help with the recruiting process. It's very much like an art form and it takes time. It takes time to build a rock star team. So you just have to be patient. And you have to lead with belief. So unless you believe in yourself and believe in this opportunity 100%, you're never really going to tap into your full potential, and you're not going to take the action necessary to achieve the results you want, aka recruiting amazing business builders. So it starts with you. The variable is you. You have to have this unwavering belief, confidence, and faith in yourself and in the process, because people can sense that a million miles away. And so you have to exude energy and enthusiasm and confidence when you are in your posts, in your Instagram stories, when you're in your private message invites, so that people can feel it. It should radiate from your bones. You should be so excited and passionate about this opportunity. And you have to remember that this is a life-changing, amazing gift that you have to give. And you have to give this process time, like I said before, and consistency. And if you're afraid to invite to this opportunity, then that means that you need to start being product to the product, consistently sticking to and sharing your Beachbody journey with Shakeology, with the products, building your belief so that basically if someone were to cut you, you would bleed Beachbody blue, and you're taking people on that journey with you. And B, you need to be reading and listening to personal development to increase your confidence and faith and belief. So you need to be product of the product, and you need to be doing personal development. If you don't feel like you have a gift to give, or you're fearful about inviting or recruiting, that's your hint to lean into those things. Those are the top 2 tips I have for building your belief and your confidence with the process. Relationship comes first. This is a people business. This is a relationship business. I am very much business oriented, and I lead with that. I position myself as a mentor, as a leader, as the one in charge, so that people can rely on me. They see me as someone to respect, and so therefore they respect me. I lay out those boundaries, I don't ask people to do things. I tell them. I'm the guide. And when you talk to people in that way, not in a talking down to them sort of way, but in a empowering, we're going to link arms together. I'm your mentor. I'm your leader. I'm going to help you make a lot of money with this business as long as you do the work. Like, you're positioning yourself as a leader. That's going to help you tenfold. This business is all about positioning. And that takes a little bit of practice, but I really help the girls on my team with verbiage, what to say to position yourself as someone to be seen as a leader, as a mentor. Treat this business like a business, and it will pay you like one. Treat it like a hobby, being consistent with it, and it will pay you not much at all. So be consistent and go out and invite people to the income opportunity. You get what you share about. You get what you invite to. You get what you talk about the most. So if you're constantly only talking about join my positive community of friends, join for the accountability, that's great. You should be talking about that and breadcrumbing and sprinkling those things too, but you're not going to attract a lot of business builders. Some people might join the business for that first and then realize the financial opportunity and then just kind of naturally grow into a business builder. But if you want to attract those people right out of the gate, you have to talk about money. You have to talk about income in a non-gross way, sharing your big and small financial wins, your team members' big and small financial wins, painting the vision of what you want your future to look like, getting people to dream about their future and get them to see that this vehicle, Beachbody, and yourself as the mentor is going to be that vehicle that can help get them there. And so allow people to dream through your successes. Always give people that next step, that ability to join you. It's only gross and icky if you don't give people that next step. It's very braggadocious if you don't give people the ability to do what you're doing. So share about income and get creative with it. It doesn't have to be the same thing every single week. Just be creative. I don't know. It's hard to explain. That takes practice. Watch some other top coaches, the way that they do it. Don't compare yourself, but let it inspire some creative ideas within you. That's the only reason why you want to learn from other people, watch other people, is to let it inspire you and breed some creativity, but don't compare yourself. Okay. All right. When you are inviting to this opportunity, always focus on that person's specific wants, needs, and bring up reasons why this opportunity would help them. So I love the phrase, since you mentioned that you want to travel more / pay off debt / work less at your job, etc. Girl, you should do what I do. Without this opportunity, I would not have been able to quit my speech therapy job, pay off my $50,000 of student loan debt, blah, blah, blah. Meet the most amazing friends. Whatever successes you have had personally, list those out as credibility as to what it's done for your life and be like, this is what it would do for yours. I see you being this amazing coach because your personality rocks my socks off. Or I saw your recent post about how you're so sad to go back to work after maternity leave and you don't want to be there anymore. Speak to their pain points, speak to their needs. So I invite in private message still. I do call to action posts, which is just basically join me posts on my social media, on Facebook and Instagram, about 3 times a week. That's always my goal. Sunday nights are a great call to action for coaching. Same thing with Thursdays, because that's payday. So that's a great day to blow up your paycheck. What did your $50 paycheck do for you this week? How is that meaningful to you? How can you paint the vision for someone else who may be struggling with the same thing? If you always used to have to check your bank account before checking out at the grocery store because you never had any funds, share that of how you were so excited that this paycheck didn't give you fear around money. Like you didn't have to check your bank account for once. Whatever that is to you, share about it, because that's a huge pain point for a lot of people. So I do, private message invites, inviting through social media posts, inviting through Instagram stories. Let people hear you talk. Let them get to know you. Let them build trust with you. The best way to build trust with people is to talk to them. I refer people to the link in my bio all the time. I have my application, my work or work out with me application. So join my team as a coach or join my team as a customer application. So that I always give people a place to go to join me. I always want people to know, hey, I'm not the only one who can have success here. You can too. So I'm always giving them a call to action, whether it be like, boom, I have 10 spots left, or maybe a vague comment like, here when you're ready, girl, or I'm in your corner. You can do this too. I'm a message away. Like, it doesn't always have to be this like, join me, 10 spots left type of post. So I get kind of creative. I add variety. And you can go and creep on me a little bit. Go on my social media. I will say that I'm not in hardcore recruiting mode right now. I go in waves and phases. I've been in development mode of my leaders lately, but I am getting back into recruiting hardcore at this season of my business. So you will see more like call to actions and me making a huge effort to recruit more people to my team. What questions do you guys have? I want to make sure I'm covering everything. I mean, I could talk about a lot of things here, but it starts with you. You have to see yourself and act and believe as if you are a 10 out of 10. If you are a 2 or a 5 with your confidence, do you think anybody above level 5 confidence in themselves is going to join you, they want to join a confident person. People want to join the person who is confident, who has belief in the opportunity in themselves, because people can sense that a million miles away. They want to join your energy, your enthusiasm, who you are outside of Beachbody. That's huge. That's huge right there. I could do a whole other call about that too. But people want to know who you are outside of Beachbody. So make a list of all the value that you can give to women outside of health and fitness, outside of Beachbody. Earn the right for that call to action post. Earn the right for that private message invite by adding value with 4 posts. And then on your 5th post, you can do a boom, join me, join my team, join my challenge group post. Does that make sense? And again, go to my social media. I would say I've done a good job at that this past week, almost to the point that I should be doing a call to action a little bit more. I should be inviting people to the opportunity a little bit more. I've given a lot of value this week and ability for people to build relationships with me through my posts. You'll see how I do that. It's kind of hard to explain until you see it. You see the questions that I'm asking, how I'm engaging with my followers. So check that out. Let's see. Yay, I'm so glad you guys are liking this. Any questions that you have while I'm on here? Yeah, you gotta see yourself as a 10. You gotta, you know, it's awkward in the beginning when you're a new coach because your confidence is a little bit lower. You know, you're stepping into yourself. You're learning who you are. I took a lot of personality tests when I felt like I was lost. I felt like I didn't know who I was talking to. I didn't know what my niche was, especially before I became a mom. So I did a bunch of personality tests and they all said the same thing. And so I was like, okay, Brooke, you just need to step into that and really accept who you are. And that's when I noticed that people came to me more. I had more yeses with my invites. I had people stick around a lot longer. They quit a lot less, built stronger friendships because these were people that are my twin. So that's really important too, really knowing and embracing who you are and always becoming a better version of yourself, but staying true to who you are and your story and your experiences and sharing those things. A lot of this business, you guys, is not necessarily the how-to. It's like the person that you have to be and the person that you have to become in order to make money with this business, in order to have a bomb.com team, right? I think so many people think that, oh, if I just watch the next training, or, oh, if I just change this wording right here, it's going to make all the difference. And yeah, it will make a difference, but it's not the difference. Yeah, Lisa, your passion and your journey will bring others. Don't get discouraged, plant the seed and continue to water it. Yep. And just move on. Keep nurturing that relationship and keep reinviting that person, just like Lisa was saying, but always be talking to new people. Picture your business as a funnel. You need to be constantly inviting and bringing different people in, re-inviting old people, inviting new people, bringing your customers back into challenge groups, re-inviting them to coaching, re-inviting those people who told you no 7 times. Just keep bringing them in, and all of a sudden, whoosh, you'll get them. But it's not until you keep that consistency and that momentum going with all those different people that it all comes together. And it just takes time. And that process requires the faith and the belief that it's going to happen. It's very scary. You just have to have belief in that. You just have to have belief that when you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing, doing your BAT every day, truly doing your BAT every single day, it's going to all come together. Oh, thanks, Lindsay. I'm a newer coach, but been a stay-at-home mom for 3 to 4 years. It's hard for me to speak about coaching and the opportunity it gives when I haven't had much to say it's done for me, and I get stuck on that. I don't know what to say. Kiana, I don't know if you heard me earlier. You might have just hopped on my live video, but I think a lot of people we almost get kind of selfish. You know what I mean? Not to say you're selfish in a bad way, but that's where our mind typically goes because there's fear, right? There's fear of, well, I've not done this, and well, I've not done that. But notice what we're saying there. Me. I've not. I've done. Like, it's not about us. It's not about you. It's about other people. It's about what can we inspire people with. So think about what you can say to inspire people to see that they can do this too. Share your upline coach's success, but making sure they know that they need to join you. Sharing your other team member successes, even if you don't have anyone that you're directly mentoring, share your coach's coach, like a sideline coach, share someone in here, their successes, but make sure they know to join you. Share your vision of what you want your life to look like, right? I wish I would have shared that. I kept that all to myself, and I didn't share the payments that I made on my student loans, no matter how small. That was really stupid, because then when I paid off my student loans, I was like, ta-da! 1 year and 8 months later, I paid off my $50,000 of student loans. And they're like, didn't even know you were. And now you look like an overnight success. And like you didn't put any hard work in. I can do what you do. And then they sign up and they're like, oh, you didn't show me the hard work. I didn't sign up for this. So share the grit, share the hard work, share the vision, inspire through that. Like, it's okay to not attract everybody. I love that quote. If you're talking to everybody, you're secretly talking to nobody. Are you picky about who you invite? Look for the 10s. Yes. Yeah. So I think it's so important to not have the, I want to save the world mentality, you want to truly look at who you're inviting, and that's different for everybody, but typically I see a trend, I notice a trend with the fixed mindset people who have always had fear around money, who have been poor their whole life. Those people are hard to transition over, at least from what I've noticed. That's a pattern I've seen. And so you have to be very aware, like, am I only inviting those people who don't want to change or have so much fear that like they're just never going to join? Still invite those people, but you can't like get discouraged by it, if that makes sense. You have to be aware of the type of person that you're inviting. Are you inviting someone who has a frown on their face in their profile picture, or who has a cat as their profile picture and they don't share about themselves at all? Like, who are they? Are they a positive Polly or a negative Nancy? Who you surround yourself by matters. And yes, can people change? Absolutely. But you can't bank on that. You can't exude all of your energy into that person in hopes that they're going to change. That will happen on its own if they so desire and are willing to put in the work. You can't motivate anyone. So yes, I do shoot for people who look ambitious, who look positive, who look like go-getters. I go off of my vibe, the energy that person gives me. Do we have stuff in common? Like, I'm a mom of 2 young kids, so I'm probably not gonna like really go for a ton of people who go out drinking all the time and get drunk and would rather go to the bars on the weekend, who are not married or have kids and would rather just get drunk all the time. Like, that's not my person. And if that's anyone in here, that's okay. But that's not my person. So you have to know who your person is, right? I know what I'm looking for. Who are you looking for? What personality traits do you have? What are you looking for in a brand new coach? Someone who's fearless, someone who's determined, who's hungry, right? Write down those traits that you want in someone, that you look for in someone, that you admire in yourself, and make sure you possess those things if you are looking for those things, right? You can't expect those type of people, those type of amazing people to come to your table and work with you if you aren't that person too. So that comes with time and personal development. I was there at first. I've only been going this for a month, just focused on sharing my passion for bettering myself and how it's daily changing my life. Make it about your growth and what it can do for others. Yes. Yep. Your post about how you grew up and how you wanted to change for your girls was amazing, Kiana. That's awesome. An awesome nugget. Lisa, what nugget was that? Just so I know, like, to drive that point home. I used to share every other coach's success when I was new. Yep. Yeah, you guys, every pro was once a beginner. I didn't have anyone to work with at one point. Like, I had to get my first person signed up at one point. I had to work for that, you know? I just saw in my Facebook memories how I shared the story of other top coaches years ago. She was able to quit her job and do this full time. Yeah. Yeah. Just paint that vision. Paint that inspirational vision for people so that they can like have the belief in themselves that it's possible. You know, how inspiring is it to see that if someone else has accomplished something, like that gives us a clue that we can do it too, truly. But you have to not compare yourself to someone else's highlight reel and comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. Yeah, I feel you on that over the negative Nellies. Lisa, talking about sharing what coaching is helping you do, not waiting a year to share. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Ugh. Yeah, and I also waited to share the fact that I wanted to quit speech therapy. You know, once I realized that, I just never shared it because I was afraid. Why? As a speech therapist, they needed me more than I needed them. They couldn't fire me over that. Me painting my vision. I want to be a stay-at-home mom someday. So what? Why should I be afraid to say that? But I was. So don't make that same mistake as me. Overnight success can quickly scare someone always. Right. Yeah. We don't want to come across as that this is easy. It's simple, but it takes work. And you want to glorify the hard work. You want people to understand that there's not just the top of the iceberg, you know, the success and the recognition and the glitz and the glam. You got to show people what's going on underneath the water, which is the majority of the iceberg, right? The part that we don't see, the hustle, the dedication, the sacrifice, the late nights, waking up early, the stress, the tears, the blood, sweat, and tears. Like, you got to talk about that stuff and you got to show people that so that they are not surprised when they come to you and sign up with you, you know? But you have to show like why that's all worth it. Don't just be like, this is so hard. Like, share why it's worthwhile, why it's been worthwhile. So anyways, I'm so passionate about this topic. Use confident statements versus timid questions. It's all about how you talk to people. What else? Don't be fearful of sharing anything because of what others might think. The thing they want to share might just be exactly what someone needs to hear that day. Oh, so good, Lisa. That makes me think of something else too. People are worried about being annoying to people or being too omnipresent, like too much of a broken record. But think of it this way. The average person needs 7 to 10 exposures before they're ready to jump into something on average, right? So you have to be a broken record for those people in order for it to sink in and for them to be like, I could do what she does. And also keep in mind that there are other people who haven't seen you at all yet. They've not seen that post yet that Sally maybe saw 7 times. This might be that person's first time. We all know how the algorithm works. Only about like 10% or less of people see one post at any given time. So you have to just be aware of that and just rinse and repeat. Broken record. Because there's Sally who's never seen you before, and there's Joe who needs that exposure. And Sally needs to see those numerous exposures until she's ready. Does that make sense? So you can't go wrong. You have to be a broken record. Oh, good, Lisa. I'm so glad it could help you. Okay. Any other questions, you guys? I don't want to have this be too long. 30 minutes tops was my goal. So this is a good quote. You can't move people to action unless you first move them with emotion. The heart comes before the head. Women are sold by emotion. What is possible? Most people, most women are not motivated by facts and figures unless you're a certain personality type. But still, at the end of the day, it comes from here. They need to feel this. They need to feel that. All right, you guys. Hope this helped. Talk to you later.